Greetings and welcome to today's episode on Geeks First. We're going to talk about something that I know very little about, but we're about to jump headfirst right into card grading. Stay tuned for all that and more. Alright, thank you for coming back. I very much appreciate you tuning in today. So, we're going to go ahead and bring some stuff on as I make myself super tiny. We're going to even go even smaller. Ready? Bing! Look at me and down the corner. Alright, so we got a couple of packages here. And these are extremely bright at the moment. So I will be right back on the Mississippi. Alright, we're going to jump right in. Bring two packages here onto the table. And going to explain a little bit of backstory. So, for those of you that don't know, while I am in the Flesh and Blood community, I am a backer of a lot of Patreons. This was sent to me from Fabled Hunters, and this is one of his Patreon giveaways. And this is a graded card, and I really haven't experienced much grading of cards. So when I got this card, which was the Herald of Protection Red, this one is a promo, and it's a 9.5. Now, I don't know the proper terminologies. I've heard them mention quad, baby quad, quad plus plus. I really need to educate myself on those. So, for sake of sounding like an idiot here, I don't actually know what this would be called, other than I would call it a 9.5 plus plus plus, maybe? Because it has three 9.5s, so it's still a 9.5, but I don't understand the difference. But soon, hopefully, I will, and when I do, I will educate you on it. This kind of got my brain going down the path of, boy, it would be fun to grade some cards, because I like, basically some slabs for like heroes and for weapons and for just some cards that, frankly, I feel should have those. Now, I have graded cards with one other company that was at Gen Con 2 years ago, and that was through CGC. And those were some of my misprints, and they were in Pokemon, and they were in Magic the Gathering. So I have some really cool ones that I can find and bring those out. But those are the extent of the cards that I have graded. I don't have stacks of graded cards sitting around anywhere like probably people might think. So this was really exciting to get, because to me this was like, wow, this is pretty sweet. Like, I'm looking at this saying, holy crap, this is really nice. It's presentable. You can mount this like on a, if I were to make a little stand, which, speaking of which, I do have. I'll show you that in a little bit, because this got me started on that path. So this is a really interesting experience to see the slab. Now, fast forward to Worlds, and I didn't get to go, but this same company, which I believe is a subsidiary of Channel Fireball, or former Channel Fireball, which is now part of TCG Player and eBay or whatever. So it's this grading company specializes, or at least has been the one that people with Flesh and Blood cards tend to go to. Now, Worlds, they offered a very special grading service, and if you were to send something in, you would get this nice little Worlds icon, which you're seeing here, on that. So I politely asked a fellow content creator who was there if there was a possibility that he could get a card graded for me. And I have in my hand here, as you can see from the back, it is a cracked bauble. It's a WTR alpha token, and this has that beautiful World's Championship marking on the one side, and when you flip it over, it says Worlds underneath it. So these were really my first two slabs and this came from Fabled Hunters, which is a content creator, and this one through Bronson. So Bronson, thank you very much. I cannot even express in words how thankful I am for me to actually have thank you, my favorite card, Crack Bubble, and it has the World's icon on it. So I cannot express my gratitude enough. Thank you, sir. So this is kind of where it begins. Maybe this is a humble beginning, maybe this is a scary beginning. I don't quite know, because as things have progressed, there seems to be more and more interest in slabbing things now that I've kind of gotten a taste for what they would look like when they're done. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk through the Thanksgiving Day PGC special, and I guess there is a Black Friday sale, and it started, I think, yesterday, and it lasts till Thanksgiving, but it's $12 submissions. And because it's $12 submissions, I have selected about 25 cards that I'm going to be sending in, because it's also a week turnaround. So that is great right? Like, there's a lot to this that I don't understand. There was the complexity of going to the site, which really actually wasn't that bad, to go to PGC's site, say, here are the cards that I'm submitting, fill out all the, the documentation of saying what set is it from, what card is it, what rarity level, what's your declared value on it if you're doing insurance, which I certainly did because I don't want to take a chance because I really treasure these cards. Some that you will see here shortly will have some very special signatures and things on them that I have an infinite value on because there's no way I could ever replace them. And then on top of that, the last piece was there was you had to pay for the service. So all said and done, this is a several $100 transaction. So for me, this is being my first experience. I'm also shipping this to them insured, so I'm making sure that that is, a thing. And then I opted for their insurance, so when it comes back, it'll be insured. I'm just being overly cautious, and I think mostly just because these are very treasured pieces of my collection, and I really don't want anything to happen to them. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and cut right into the cards that are going to be shipped off, because there is also the section that I had to go to. I went to Amazon to get. This is 25 bucks, and these are semi-rigids with penny sleeves, and this is how they want you to submit the cards to grading company, which is weird to me because I would have thought the hard sleeves would have been much better, but I guess there's a reason for it. So we're going to be, as we talk through this, we're going to be de-sleeving and putting sleeves into these as we go. All right, so off camera real quick, I just went ahead and grabbed this. This is the thing I was talking about. This is my little slab holder, and I basically designed this in AutoCAD so you can stick your slabs on display like that. So basically it would sit on a table. In this case, if I hold this up, it would hold it like that. If there's any interest in these, I certainly can make these and either sell them to you, or if you're a fellow content creator and you want to give a few of these away on your channel or whatever, just let me know and I'll laser cut them. I have access to that in a CNC machine, so that's one of the fun little product thingies that I did because, I felt like, having these on a shelf and displaying them would be really neat. And that also leads me into another individual that I know that is in the community, and that is the Fab Unsealed guys. And I guess they also do some slabbing because I remembered in my quest to find those that these are their type of slabs. So as an example, their slabs, while they're not graded, look very, very similar in some capacity, but they're custom for them. I would reach out to Fab Unsealed. I think they actually do slabbing, if I remember right. Just for giggles. Sorry for the jarring cut here, but I did want to confirm before I showed this. So this was from the Patreon card vault, but I think that he has since shut down. So during his final farewell, basically the first Patreons, which I was a part of there, they gave out a random slab and a 2018 Ira sealed deck. Now the Ira sealed deck is somewhere behind me over here. But I did want to show off this. This is a different brand of sleeve. This is from Beckett. So this is another graded card. This was basically, again, a Bravo Star of the Show. And this one is from Beckett. And you'll see that it has 2022 Everfest, Flesh and Blood, First Edition Foil, Bravo Star of the Show, Extended Art, blah, blah, blah. And they look materially different than the slabs that are from PGC, and I really don't know which one I like more. I think I like the PGC ones better, which is why I have opted to go with the PGC ones. But this one is very similar, where it's a rated a 9, but it has 9.5, 9.5, and then 2 9s. So it's interesting. So anyways, like I said, I don't have a lot of these things, but the ones I have gotten have well, for lack of a better word, really been either gifted or I did purchase this one, full transparency, but I knowingly went in with what I was doing with it. So the only other type of slabs I have are the ones that are right here. I'm going to go ahead and showcase some of these. I got these at Gen Con, and these were the CGC's sample cards. So the CGC sample cards, these were from, if I remember right, D&D Forgotten Realms. So this is the dragons. So there were 5 of these, and this was from Gen Con 2021. So just over, Is it 22 or 23? 22. So it's just over a year ago. So there's your white dragon, your blue dragon, your black dragon, your green dragon, and your red dragon. Now again, these were basically given away, but I got these, one, because it was kind of a commemorative thing. This was my first looking at slabs prior to getting anything from the groups here, and then that is where I sent off for my favorite card. Now, this is a Magic the Gathering card, and it is near and dear to my heart because this is one of the very first things I learned about from some of the very younger years of when I played Magic. And what that basically does for me is, when I flip this over here, this is called a Charlie Brown Sapphire Medallion. Now, what this is if there is any way for this camera to obtain the close-up here. So we're going to autofocus again. I'm going to try to get as close as I can here. Hopefully it will be happy. Come on, buddy, you can do it. There you go. You see inside of here, there's this kind of line, and it's, you almost have to go, I'll see if I can inject a photo here from the misprint pages. But this is a Charlie Brown medallion, and this one is one of only a few that I have seen in my life, and I collected these, so I have a couple of different ones from the misprint groups over the years, and that was one of the reasons I got that slabbed, is because I did not want that to ever become damaged because I adored this card so much. The only other really interesting card was, this is a Pokemon card, and it is a misalignment skew. And it is a Pokemon, it's the Heracross from Furious Fist, and you'll see that it's off, up, and down, but then on top of that it also has this really cool foiling pattern that may not show up, but yeah, you can kind of see it here. So you can see where the ridged pattern of where the Pokemon should have been is completely offset from the actual Pokemon itself, basically giving a double impression. And what that really means is, like, as an example here, if I can find a better way to show this, like, his eyeball should have been right about there, so it's downshifted by, you know, about a length of a thumb, and that was just so cool to me. So we sourced this card, and it's just, I said that had to be put into something to protect it, because this was just one of the most unique misprints I'd ever seen. Now, something else I opened as a kid was this one here, and this is a miscut. You'll see that the back is also misaligned. And this one is a Mark Poole Elvish Hunter, and this is back from, I believe, the Fallen Empire's ages. So this was kind of one of the only other cards that I really had adored. And then I purchased this one because I do enjoy the original starters. And this particular card is the War Turtle Evolutionary Box misprint. And what that means is, up here, there is a War Turtle in the War Turtle Evolution. So this is just another card that basically I had always been very much, I guess, enthralled with as a child. So to me, it was just neat to put this into something. Now, with all that out of the way, because I'm sure that this is kind of a long-winded video at this point, I will go ahead and, I guess, reveal the cards that we are getting shipped off. And not that I think it's going to make any difference, but apparently there are probably those people that will tell me that it will, and those people that will tell me that I'm probably doing it all wrong. So the internet is fun like that, right? So we're going to take these penny sleeves that exist here. We're going to take the stack of these, and I'll have them off to the side. I'm going to pre-open these, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get these little silly gloves, because I'm sure that this is not right? I'm sure that something is wrong with the interwebs, because this is not the way you're supposed to do it. But we're gonna deslab these things and go from there. These are actually what I use for when I do resin. So we'll see. I'm probably gonna look like a friggin' idiot. But we'll start with the very first card here. Crazy Brew. This is the extended Crazy Brew. I got this, one of the very first fab cards I actually ever got. I got it from my local game store. And it has, for lack of a better word, been been in my binder ever since. So I feel like I can't get anywhere fast with these. So I'm assuming I'm supposed to very lightly fold that thing into a thing like that, and then I'm going to, I guess, based on watching some other people, you like finger this thing open, fudge through it, and then I don't know, shove it in the hole. So giggity, right? There we go. All right, so in theory, that is how they want it going to them. So that's gonna be the first card I'm shipping off, and then any of my sleeves and extra stuff I'm gonna pull off. The next one here is the Cavdane Trader. This is a promo card. I bought it, I think somebody had traded into an LGS or something. I think this was before the rules of them selling promos, but basically this is a cold foil promo from what you can see. This is hero number 28, and the reason I'm getting this one graded is because I would like to do some more Ultimate Pit fights, and this is going to allow me to have a slabbed copy so that people playing with us can choose him as a hero, so that we can go through that. The next one here is a hit that we got on the channel, basically opening the Dynasty boxes. So depending on when this comes out, this may be a spoiler alert, because I think this might actually air before the official video that this got hit in. But because this is one of the only Marvels that I had, I wanted to go ahead and just send it off. It was kind of a special thing. And that to me warranted just going ahead and seeing what it would come back as, because, you know, this is kind of a learn and experience for myself. So I'm going to try that. Now, these here are for the Assassin class. This is the Spider Bite. This one here is a rainbow foil. I did not get lucky enough to hit any of the actual cold foil versions of the cards. So these are just standard rainbow foil copies, but they are the 115 and 116. So there is, similar to in the Kodachi world, how there's a reverse and a forward. These are reverse and forward. So I'm going to have those in there, which means that I will be able to have my Assassin build out with those two cards basically slabbed up, and for many years of enjoyment, hopefully, to have fun with that. All right, the next one here is the Black Tech Whisperers. This one is a cold foil. This is the one that I got the very last box of Dynasty that we opened on the channel. So hopefully that is all said and done good. And maybe I understand now why they want them in this, because this is a little bit easier to get things in and out. I guess there's a little bit less chance of damaging. The next card, Silver Palms. This was one of those things that I never actually hit these, so I went ahead and bought this on the open market. And this is technically already in a penny sleeve, but I'm going to go ahead and, just for sake of argument, pull that out of the one it's in and use the ones that are all identical, brand new in this one. This is, again, a merchant piece of equipment, and I want that for us to be able to do the Ultimate Pit fight. So that is going to be exciting. So that's going to be what we're giving out there. Next one here is an Arcane Lantern. This one is a, I don't know what the right word would be, but this is a cold foil from Everfest. That's the word I'm looking for. Now, interestingly enough with this, I already know that it has a kind of a ding, a damage on the corner there, and I frankly just don't care. I would like to basically put this in a slab because I do want to start using an offhand weapon every once in a while, and the artwork on here is just phenomenal. So I'm gonna kind of see, because I know that this card has a defect. I'm really curious how harsh they are on grading. So this is a good example of something me knowingly putting in that's going to give me a kind of a litmus test of saying, okay, I know that this is not great, so we're going to see what that does coming back. The next three cards are all identical. They are Hearts of Findel, or Fidel. I don't know which route you want to go. All three of these are extremely special to me. One of them I actually have traded to a good friend of mine, Tim. You might have known that he was the individual that sponsored the box opening. And each of these hearts were hit at different times. So this first heart here, as an example, this was the second pull at the Farewell to Welcome to Wrathe event on 1/29/2021. So this was pulled by me at the Farewell to Welcome to Wrathe event here in Indianapolis. So I want to get this graded because I want to make sure that I keep that. Now, the reason that these getting stacked in order are very important, and once they're out of these sleeves, I don't know if there's any way for me to be able to tell a difference, but this is the key here. So this one here was the Farewell to Welcome to Wrathe event. This is different than the first one here, which is the first tabled full, and it is from the Belgium print run, because this is a box that had Drone of Brutalities in it. So this was the very first box that I was buying, and my LGS had a Belgium print. So this is a Belgium and this is a Japanese. Now, I don't know, because basically if both of these from WTR have some theoretical differences, obviously, between the two sets. The paper feels different in Japanese than the Belgium, but I have absolutely no idea if that's going to affect the grading. So we'll see. The third one was actually my last random pack. We got this from our local game store, Family Time Games, and I bought 4 packs, one of each artwork to keep sealed, and then in one of the later videos, I said, forget it, I got more packs. So we opened those 4 on camera for another video, and lo and behold, inside of one of those packs was this heart. So this was opened by Beth, and this is the one that will be going to Tim. So those 3 cards there are kind of the story. Now I'm going to keep these in the order. I want the very first one, this Belgium one. So I'm going to, pull that out of here, and then we're going to go ahead and, I think this is the right way to do it. We're going to pull it out of here. And this is the Belgium one. I don't know much about, again, card grading specifics about centering or excellence or, whatever, but this was the most important card that I have ever pulled. Now, how I'm going to notate this is, because it is first in order here, I'm also going to, in theory, write on this sleeve here. I'm going to mark it by putting a little tab on the corner. Now I know that that one is my Belgium one. So for my reference, this is the Belgium heart. The next one here is the Farewell to Welcome to Wrathe heart, as I had explained. So we're going to go ahead and pull this guy out of that one, and then we're going to go ahead and get it slabbed up. Tim graciously said that because I got the short end of the stick when I did my trade, because I basically traded a Heart of Findel for a first edition Tales of Aria Fabled, which you will see later in this video. And the heart went so much in price, he's like, why don't you just give me the lowest graded heart of the group? And while I appreciate his sentiment to that, I'm basically going to make sure that he gets, a fair thing on there. Now, what is that? There's a mark on this sleeve, but it's not on the card. So this is the heart here that is going to be number 2, and this one is the Farewell to Welcome to Wrathe event. So this one is fairly special. I'm going to take the go portion and just bend the middle. That way I know that it is the Farewell event one. And the third one here, again, this is the one that the wife most recently pulled. And may the odds ever be in your favor, sir, because it seems like this one may very well be the magic one that's going to get the best grade. Who knows? So there we go. That one is going to go in with no marking. And there we go. Yep. All right. I don't know if that's good to do or not, but we're doing it anyway, so. All right, next on the list, we got Go Bananas. This card, boy, oh boy, I did not realize this thing was getting as expensive as it was, but I just adore this card to absolutely no end. Like, it is unbelievably amazing. I do plan on running it in UPF, but because I only have 1 copy, what I plan on trying to do is I'm going to basically get this one slabbed as we're talking today. That's the whole point of getting it shipped off. And then we're going to have it proxied for folks in their decks so that they can play it. I am looking to try and grab another copy of this, but I really don't want to be dropping the amount of money that's on those at the moment. That's just not really something I'm hoping to do. So hopefully it'll come back something good looking, but there we go. So the next on the list, we have Hummingbird, and I'm assuming they will not grade it in the sleeves. So we are going to have to do the thing that I was dreadful to ever do. We are going to slicey dice the wrapper right above the card. No going back now, folks. You've seen it here first. So we're going to we're going to somehow find a way to rip this apart. Yep, there we go. Again, I'm sure that someone's going to be crying and telling me I'm not doing this right. But this is the weapon for the Bard. So the Bard is going to have this weapon. So again, for Ultimate Pit Fight, that's what we're going to be working on. Now, the next card is by far the most important card in my entire collection. Yorick. Now, this Yorick is not just any particular Yorick. In my opinion, this Yorick is damn near probably irreplaceable. So, we're going to go ahead and pull him out, and we will explain why he is nigh irreplaceable. So, this Yorick was purchased from an individual who was at another event where James Light was at, because I could not attend, sadly enough. But this Yorick on the back is signed by none other than James White himself. So, to me, this holds a extremely sentimental value, because that, until I can meet him in person, is the closest I'm going to be able to get to a signature from James White. So that is why this Yorick, to me, is absolutely one of the most treasured Flesh and Blood cards that I have. And I will be excited to throw that down anytime we can. Now, this Shyana here, again, spoiler alert, was pulled in a recent video on our channel. None other than the waifu was able to get it. So, this is getting shipped off because guess what? It's an Ultimate Pit Fighter. We're going to be using it to have as an option for folks doing UPF. You can kind of get a theme here, right? You can see where this is going. All right. The next card here takes a little bit of explanation. There was a post in, I believe, the Flesh and Blood Unseals group, or one of the Flesh and Blood buy here, sell here trade groups. And at that time, there was a signature request by Sam Yang. I believe these got shipped off to the person in the United States sometime in February of 2022. And here we are in like November. This was one of two cards that I got shipped off. This is an alpha cracked bauble, and I had requested that Sam Yang sign this. So we paid for that and got it back. And this is one of those, again, to me, almost priceless kind of cards, because I adore cracked bauble so much. As you can very clearly see, I am obsessed with the damn thing. Which actually, there's a new promo that's coming out that's that I'm going to be definitely trying to get. So that'll be exciting. We're going to go through the next couple of cards here. These are for my mech class. So the last couple of cards on this are for the mech build. They are nothing really special, but I figured if I was going to get stuff slabbed, I might as well go and get the things slabbed that kind of are in relation to my main character class. So this is a just an unlimited, but it's a foil Achilles heel. So I don't have any first editions. I don't have any cold. I don't think there's even a cold foil of this, but I don't have another option. So this is going to be my feat for my mech build. Visitronic Model Eye, which you will see here, is my fantastically awesome Model Eye. Well, there's my Geeks first level. We'll leave that there. Why not? I used to put these in the hard sleeves so that I wouldn't have to shuffle them up and that they would get protected as I was playing with them. But this is literally just a run-of-the-mill standard, you know, unlimited Crucible of War. But because I want to have all 4 slots, head, chest, arms, and legs, we're going to choose to get this one shipped off because I only have the one. If I had a foil, I would definitely try to get the foil, but sadly I do not have the foil, so that can be something we can strive for later down the road, which is great. Next on the list is my Teklo Heart. This is pretty sweet. I mean, obviously it's a heart. I love it. I'm very excited. I paid $90 for this, apparently. That's the sleeve that I got for my LGS. So there we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Isn't it funny when you keep the value on the things that you pay for it over time, and you're just like, sooner or later you look at something, you're like, hey, I got that card for way cheaper than it is today. Like, I was going back through some old Magic cards, and I found like I paid like $2 for a fork, and like $1 for like a Wheel of Fortune, and like 50 cents for a Force of Will, and it's like, holy crap. So Next card here is the promo Teklo Plasma Pistol. This is the cold foil, and it comes from the early stages of the game. So this cold foil is very, very bright under these lights. But this will be one of my 2 mech weapons. Actually, there's I think his name is Ice Cream Lando on the Discord server. I'm actually purchasing from him. He just got a Marvel Hanabi Blaster, and that will be in batch 2 that's going to be shipped off, because I have already some other cards that I have decided that will be going shortly after this to just basically round out my equipment set. So this is a plasma barrel shot. Again, it's a rainbow foil, but I do leverage this weapon every once in a while, so I'm going to go ahead and get it shipped off. And one of the most pride and joyful items that I have is similar to the cracked bauble. This one was a dash token that I had shipped over, and you'll see here that I probably should have chosen better as far as going through my tokens and making sure it wasn't all marred up. But honest to God, this was the dash token that I have had, and I've played every dash deck I've played with either this young dash or this one here. That's why I sent that one off to get signed. So you know what? Dang it, I don't care if it comes back graded horrible. It is sentimental to me, and that is why it's going in a slab, because I'm not trying to say grading is not worth your time, but frankly, this is a whole different ball of wax. So there we go with that. Now, in my cases, I was lucky enough to hit an absolute banger of a thing from Dynasty, which is one of the things I was looking for. This is the Nitro Mechanoid Cold Foil. This Nitro Mechanoid Cold Foil is going to be in a slab so that when I ever get to summon the Fantastico Mechanoidio, I can throw that bad boy out there and just have fun with it, because that's going to be what I'm going to use that one for. This is the aforementioned traded card. This is a first edition Corsham from Tales of Aria, first edition, so it is cold foil here. This came from my buddy Tim, and it is going to get shipped off because, honestly, I just want to see what it will get as a grade. It's been sitting in a, kind of a holder and a slab on the side, so I figured since we're just going to be using it, if I have it in a slab, I can always proxy in a deck, but this way, I can see what it's going to get. And last but not least, and certainly the weirdest of the group, because I had ordered one, it had gotten returned, I had ordered another, and somehow it did not pan out. So I asked our local Discord group for an Emperor, because I want to get one in a slab, and this is the only one that was able to be found. So again, thank you, Ice Cream Lando. I appreciate you very much. I ended up trading a bunch of Mechanologist cards for this. It's weird that the value of this card has dropped so much, but it's like a sub $20 card at this point. So that's great. I should actually have 1 to 2 more of these coming, mostly because when I ordered them, they were 20 bucks, and then somehow one got lost. And anyways, so now they're here. But that is supposedly what the stack looks like. So these are the cards that are getting shipped off, and that is the thickest the package is going to be, I guess. So that wasn't that terrible, I guess. So all right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and talk about the batch number 2. So the batch number 2 is going to get sent off after these come back, but before the end of the discounted pricing that they have. And they are going to be the following cards. I got lucky and found a cold foil galvanic bender. I'm going to do the Crown of Providence that I have, the Stormstriders from WTR, the Arknight Skullcap from Arcane Rising, Mask of Momentum from WTR, and Fidel's Spring Tunic from WTR. All of these are cards, other than obviously the two, the Ninja and the Wizard here. These are cards that I typically will switch in and out in a dash deck. So I opted to just go ahead, and we're going to do those in batch number 2. So basically batch number 2 is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 7th card is going to be the Hanabi Blaster. So that will round out everything that I'm going to ship off, and then we will get to do a fun big reveal video when that is all said and done. So yeah, hopefully I'm done with putting cards in sleeves, because that is not what I like to do. I like to break cards out of sleeves, aka put them into, circulation, which is what that is and what that is. those are actually upcoming videos that will be filmed here very shortly. So, alrighty then. Well, again, thank you so very, very much for tuning in and listening to this. This has just been me kind of walking through some of this. If grading cards is your thing, let me know. I'd love to talk to you more. Like, this is interesting. It is a very unique aspect, but the problem is I don't think I have the eye to tell you what grade this card is going to get, why it may not be considered centered perfectly, why it may be, you know, that this card is a subpar candidate to go in there. But that's why I purposely put in some cards that I know were not perfect. There is one card I do want to get graded. It is a very special misprint card in Flesh and Blood, but I need to get to see if they can even grade it before I reveal that. I do have one. I got one very, very early on, and it is just such a unique item, which would go into the misprint collection of things and never come out, similar to Rudy's Vault. You know, they go in and they never come out. So I really don't expect any of these cards to ever come out. Like, I just expect them to be heirlooms and passed down to anybody in my family going forward. I mean, to me, these are now parts of me, extensions of myself. So, alrighty then, thank you so much for tuning in. Greatly appreciate you. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell button. Stay tuned for more content. Jacob, signing out.